Make some very brief remarks. Once again, I did this earlier today. I want to congratulate you for what you did on November the 2nd. You have started a wave across this country. Congratulations. Because it's happening all across this country. And you all set a very fine example. So, Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, you're all off to a great start. And I got to tell you, it is inspiring a lot of other people and legislatures around this country. The words to the closing song of the 2000 Olympics sums up what we are up against and what we have started. It started on November the 2nd, but our work is not done yet. And those words say life can be a challenge. Life can seem impossible. It's never easy when there's so much on the line. But you can make a difference. There's a mission just for you. Just look inside and you will find just what you can do. Life can be a challenge. If we look at all of the crises and issues we face, you'd have to say that life is a challenge. With the economic crisis, the energy crisis, the entitlement crisis, the moral crisis, the immigration crisis, and most importantly, the leadership crisis that we have. Life is a challenge. But you have started to meet that challenge right here in New Hampshire. Life is a challenge. It might seem impossible. No one believed that you were going to be able to flip your entire legislature last November. Some people thought it was impossible, but you did it anyway because you wanted to. If our founding fathers had believed in the impossible, they never would have founded this nation. So you have done what some thought was impossible. Some people do not believe that it is possible for us to take back the Senate and increase our numbers in the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. I don't think that's an impossibility. Some people don't believe that we can replace the occupant of the White House. I happen to believe that we can replace the occupant of the White House. And there are some people who do not believe that a businessman that has never held public office can get the Republican nomination and become President of the United States. And whenever people say, but you don't have any political experience. You've never held public office. Good. I remind them, most of the people in Washington, D.C. have. How's that working for you? And one of the things that I have learned as I travel and talk to so many people across this country is that the American electorate, they have an appetite for a problem solver. And if you happen to be a politician, that's okay, but we need problems solved in this nation, which is why, even though a lot of people might think that it's an impossibility, for someone like me to become president of the United States, given all of the odds against me. I do not believe it is impossible, because the American people believe in the impossible becoming possible. That's who's going to elect Herman Cain president of the United States if I run. Say that for the press, be politically correct, because as soon as I become a declared candidate, I'm another one in that unemployment line. But this nation was built upon people believing in the impossible. And even though the liberals don't think we can take back our government, there are a lot of people in this country who believe that we can. And we will. One of the questions I get at nearly every one of the town hall meetings that I speak at, or rallies that I speak at, or interviews, why are you running or considering a run for the presidency? It's real simple. It's not about us. It's about the grandchildren. It's not about us. And I happen to believe that we are all granted certain talents that we must use to make a difference in this world. Everybody has a different set of talents. Everybody can do what they can do, as those words say. And we were all put here to make a difference with our individual talents, whether it is volunteering and being a Tea Party leader for the first time, or whether it's running for the President of the United States for the first time. We all have to use our talents in order to leave this country a little bit better off for the grandchildren. And it was Dr. Benjamin E. Mays, the late president of Morehouse College, where I attended school, who used to remind the young men of Morehouse that in this life, life is just a minute in order to use your talents, in order to make a difference. Life is just a minute, only 60 seconds in it, forced upon you. Can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to each of us to use it. We must suffer if we lose it, give an account if we abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our possibilities for America are in it. Thank you, and God bless.